So welcome everyone in YouTube land, if you're out there. We're having another Sila celebration. So the two of us have 311 precepts, but
We won't recite all of those. Not now.
not today.
Yeah.
So we will, if anyone is listening to this now via YouTube or later on, we will have share the precepts with you. I'm going to do share screen.
Not that one. Okay.
And there we go. We like to share.
Yeah.
That's the one. Share. Okay. So hopefully you can see this. I will, or I could
do
just
the requesting.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll do the requesting, and if you're watching the recording, you can join in. You can bow 3 times. I'm doing that, trying to balance. So
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Mayam aheti saranena saha silani achama. Dutiyampi mayang aheti saranena saha silani achama. Tatiyampi mayang aheti saranena saha silani achama.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So I will chant Namo Tassa 3 times, and then you will follow 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
And we'll do the 3 refuges. Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tisaranam Gamanam Nitidam.
Ama aye.
So the 3 refuges. And now we go to the 3 precepts.
Precepts 5, not just
5. Excuse me, 5. Okay. So then I will say the Pali and the English, and I will just do the Pali. Panatipata Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami.
Panatipata Veramani Sikapadang Samadhyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
Adina Dana Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami.
Adina Dana Veramani Sikapadang Samadhyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
Kame Sumi Chachara Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami.
Kame Sumi Chachara Veramani Sikapadang Samadhyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct.
Musawada Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami.
Musawada Veramani Sikapadang Samadhyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
Sura Mirya Maja Pamadatana Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami.
Sura Meraya Majapamardatana Veramani Sikapadang Samadhyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
This completes the 5 precepts. Silena Sukadinyanti, Silena Bhogasampada, Silena Nibutimyanti, Tasma Silam Visodaye. These are the 5 precepts for training. Virtue is a source of happiness. Virtue is a source of true wealth. Virtue is a source of peacefulness. Therefore, let virtue be purified.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So there's reason to celebrate if you're keeping these precepts. It's one thing just to recite them, but to keep them is a way to purify our hearts and our minds and to live happily in the world and to be a wonderful presence in the world.
Sadhu, sadhu.
A safe presence in the world. So Aya Nyanika has offered to talk about speak on the Dhamma today.
All right, first have a sip of water.
With a sip of water.
No, you stay in it. Stay in the picture.
I'm there.
That's good enough.
Okay.
All right. Should we Namo Tassa together?
Certainly.
Namo
Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddham Dhammam Sangham Namasami. So, we were thinking to join the Clear Mountainers tonight on their Mission Majjhima, and I know that they're doing I think it's the Maha Malukya Putta Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya 64. Does that sound right?
64, yes.
64. Which probably means they did the Chula Malukya Putta Sutta last week.
Poor Malunkia Putta.
Poor Malukya Putta. Yes. He got some good Dhamma though. So, and I realized that my favorite Malunkia Putta Sutta wasn't in the Majjhima Nikaya. So I thought we could talk about it a little bit today so that there would be a festival of Malukya Putta. The one that's my favorite is in the Samyutta Nikaya. It's number 3595. And the reason it's my favorite is it's very in alignment with the Bahia Sutta, which is one of my favorites. And in both the Bahia Sutta and the Malunkyaputta Sutta, SN 3595.95, there is this series that comes together in the seen, just the seen, in the heard, just the heard, in the I have it memorized, but in the seen, just the seeing, in the heard, just the heard, in the cognized, just the cognized. I'm losing it now. Maybe that's it.
Because it doesn't have all the sense.
Yeah.
The
Oh, in the
sense
sense,
is
yeah, in
the
the
sense.
seen, just the seen, in the heard, just the heard, in the sense, just the sensed, and in the cognized, just the cognized. But the part that really draws that out is there's no you in it, there's no you by it, there's no you here, nor there, nor in between. This is the end of suffering. And this is kind of my loose translation of it. We could actually look at the other ones, maybe during a sutta study or something, and get the exact quotes. But what's so alive for me in this sutta, and I thought maybe it would be worth having a Sila celebration conversation about it, is this, where are we in this? Where at the time of the Buddha, and actually in modern maybe not the most modern, but in modern psychology, there's this thought of the human. My brain is not working today. Hey, good. Not my brain. The homo nucleus. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. It's this sense of there's this being, an usness, a me, that is actually behind the seeing, is the one who's witnessing and having something to do with what I'm seeing or hearing or even thinking, so that there's a me in there. And in the old texts, if you look in old psychology texts, you'll see this picture of like this little creature who lives inside your head, and that's the you who's witnessing everything. And so I was working with this sutta, and it was during a winter retreat, and I would just walk and keep walking, and I would just repeat that portion of the sutta over and over and over again, just in the seen, just the seen, in the heard, just the heard, in the sense, just the sensed, in the cognized, just the cognized. And then I would also then repeat, there's no me, or actually I tended to use the word you because it already made it a little less personal. There's no I, there's no me, there's no ego in it or by it or here or there or in between. And then the punchline, this is the end of suffering. Because I just kept finding myself getting into this happened to me. I'm thinking about this. I've heard that bird over there. I'm so happy to be distracted by the bird. I this, I that, I this, I that. Now, what am I going to do about it? What's my job now? How am I going to recover from all the woe that I've experienced? So just during the retreat, I found doing a lot of walking and just repeating the verses so that I wouldn't get caught up in the I was very helpful. But the other part, the sutta that maybe I will read directly, is after the Buddha says this, in this case to Malunkyaputta, after he says this, Malunkyaputta says, oh, you gave me this brief teaching. I think I understand. I'm going to elucidate what you just said in brief in more detail.
Should we share it?
Oh, we could do that.
We'd like to share.
We like to share. I was looking at the Bhikkhu Bodhi one.
Well,
but,
we're here, well.
Oh, okay. Do you want to switch over to Bhikkhu Bodhi so we're sharing the one I'm reading, or?
Do I have it? Let's see. I can go to here.
Yes.
Bhikkhu Bodhi's.
Yes, next one down.
There.
Yes.
And then we have
down to.
Can I have a choice? I have a one thing
you
that
want to comment? Yeah,
Yeah, one thing
go
I
for it.
like about it, this one is
At the beginning.
there's such a human relationship, and Malakya Puto has kind of been fumbling along for a while. And then he asked for a teaching on brief.
And he's
And
an
then
old monk at
yeah,
this
yeah.
time.
So and then the Buddha says, "Here now, Malunky Buddha, what should I say to the young bhikkhus when a bhikkhu like you, old, aged, burdened with years, advanced in life, come to his last stage, ask me for an exhortation in brief?" And so, and then Malunky Buddha says, "Oh, although I'm old, burdened with years, advanced in life, come to the last stage. Let the Blessed One teach me the Dhamma in brief. Let the Fortunate One teach me the Dhamma in brief. Perhaps I may understand the meaning of the Blessed One's statement. Perhaps I may become an heir to the Blessed One's statement." So even though he's old and advanced in years, what happens? This is what's so beautiful about this teaching.
Yeah.
So the Buddha does teach him, and he gives him a very, as we started to look at, a very
Well, before he goes to that, he actually says, well, what do you think? Do you ever crave for things that you've never heard about or seen or nobody's ever told you about? He's like, well, no. Okay, so you have to have contact. This is the part about you actually have to have contact with something for it to start this cascade. There has to be a condition that creates it. You don't just sit there and out of nothing start craving something that I can't even speak about because I don't know anything about it. And so there's no words I can put on it, but are you craving it? Are you craving it right now? No.
so then he gives that profound teaching that was to Bahia.
Mhm. Mhm.
So even though he kind of gives Malukia Putta
Some preliminaries.
yeah, a little bit of a scolding for not getting with it so quickly, he still gives him a teaching
Yeah,
that's very profound.
and one of the most profound teachings I think in the canon he offers to him. And I love the relationship that the Buddha and Malunkyaputta have, this teacher and this monk, because Malunkyapputta's been a little bit a bad, just kind of a naughty kid, even though he's older. It's just like Buddha, and this is in another sutta. Buddha, if you don't tell me about these things, I'm going to disrobe. And the Buddha's like, when did I ever tell you I was going to tell you those things? So they have this relationship that's over time, and
Yeah.
I think there might
Things
be
like, is the world eternal or not? Does a Tathagata exist after death or not? The death of the body or not? He's like, you need to tell me these things.
When did I ever say I was going to talk about that stuff? And so I mean, in my mind's eye, I actually see Ajahn Pasano sitting there with, some of the monks. I had that same kind of image where I could see him like being giving a correction, but also kind of playful. So I kind of imagine this scene is not as
Stern?
as stern as it sounds. It's both stern, but it's with this like loving teacher relationship, I think. Um, and I also read somewhere else that there's the thought that this was also to arouse the interest of the young bhikkhus who were probably sitting there. It's like, here's a teaching, perk up your ears. We got this old monk who's here asking about it. Shouldn't you be listening too? So there was some commentary supposition that he was both praising Malunkyaputta for coming to ask, putting him down for waiting to ask so long, and trying to encourage the younger bhikkhus to get on board. So I love being able to see this is as a Sangha interaction.
Yeah, it's just it's a human. And
Human.
my being older too, it gives me hope. I don't have the Buddha there though, to scold me.
Well, we can substitute Suvijana or Nyanaka into the sutta and maybe we'll get enlightened too. Okay, so This is what Malunkyaputta is saying back to the Buddha, kind of like saying, I think I understand, and I'm going to expand on it. And this is a really good way it's reflective listening in a way, but putting it into your own words, because that way then the teacher can say, yes, you've got it or not. Spoiler alert, the Buddha does say, yes, you've got it. Whereas in the sutta that Clear Mountain's doing tonight, the Buddha's kind of like, well, come back tonight to their thing and you'll see how that evolves, and we'll continue our celebration of Malunkyaputta. Okay, here he is saying, having seen a form with mindfulness muddled, attending to the pleasing sign, one experiences it with infatuated mind and remains tightly holding to it. If you remember right, what he was saying before was when you see something or hear something or sense or cognize something, just be with that. And so Malunkyaputta is saying, when your mindfulness is muddled and
Missing.
is what?
Missing.
Is missing. Yeah, when your mindfulness is missing. Do you want to show the Bhante Sujata so we could look at that Pali word, or should we save that for some Tuesday in the future?
I think it does say missing.
Okay. Actually, I have it.
But anyway.
Yeah.
It's hard to
when your mindfulness is lost.
Lost. See, missing.
Yeah, missing. All right. As Sugajana's translation, when mindfulness is missing and you go after the pleasing sign, and your mind is you're experiencing it with this attachment, this infatuation. I like that translation, infatuation. My mind becomes infatuated, and then it grasps and it holds it tightly. And then you've got all of these feelings that come up. Whatever I see, that becomes this something that either annoys me or I want. And your mind becomes disturbed.
So originating from the visible form. So even if you just see one thing and you become infatuated with it, many feelings are coming up, because first, oh, that was so wonderful. I remember having that before. And then, oh, I can't get it now. And then you're like, so you go like in this roller coaster ride in the mind with all these feelings of, how can I get it now? And so on. Or like you're saying, it could be going from something seen and another thing seen and another thing seen. So the various feelings come up just with that contact.
Yeah, and it's the same for the sound, the smell, the taste, tactile contact, and our objects of the mind.
Or I could be looking at those flowers and, oh, they're so beautiful.
So wonderful.
Oh, I remember the friends that brought those flowers, and then
the altar was bare, and yeah, gosh, between this we could use the whole rest of the time.
Yeah, and then we see a wilted flower. Oh no. Never mind. Okay, so many feelings flourish within originating from the
and then
visible form.
The real thing is that when you're mired in this, when you accumulate all of this, then Nibbana is far away. And so I kind of like that Malunkyaputta said, okay, when you say in the scene, just the scene, if I don't do that, this is what I think happens. I think that Nibbana is far away.
And I like this, for one who accumulates suffering thus, Nibbana is far away. So we're accumulating all these feelings coming and going and everything, all from the lack of mindfulness.
Yeah. So our takeaway today is going to be encouraging of mindfulness along with our sila. But before we get there, let's see how Bahia says that. One fares mindfully in such a way that even as one sees the form, and while one undergoes a feeling, suffering is exhausted, not built up. For one dismantling suffering thus Nibbana is said to be close.
You miss this one.
What did I miss?
Firmly mindful, one sees a form. One is not inflamed by lust for forms. One experiences it with dispassionate mind and does not remain holding it tightly.
Yeah, that's describing that you've got this firm mindfulness that can see, and it's not getting, I like inflamed. It's not getting caught up by wanting or pushing it away. And our mind does not get impassioned. It stays even. And it doesn't hold it tightly. So it's the further down, and the suffering is exhausted. It doesn't come into being. It just goes out, which is also another way to an epithet for the for Nibbana, the going out. I will look over.
So I like that.
Keep clinging to it. Yeah.
And while one undergoes a feeling, suffering is exhausted, not built up. When we're faring mindfully. For one dismantling suffering thus, Nibbana is said to be close by.
Yeah, Bhante Sujato says eroding suffering. And I think that kind of works. For me, it's kind of like I like shedding. It's like the contact happens, but it just rolls off. It just, it's like doesn't become this thing where I start getting involved in it, which is the whole joy of this sutta, and also the Bahia Sutta, is this experiences are happening, but I'm not taking on this ownership and directorship of it. It's just the experience of the sight, the sound, the thought, any sense.
There's these similes in the Majjhima Nikaya. I think it's 152 or something. It's the very last. It's up about the I think it's exposition of the faculties or something like that. But there's something about like a pan heating in the sun all day long, and then the water drops fall, and they just.
Yep.
So the contact like that at the sense gates like that, just evaporates really quickly. Instead of it accumulating, like you have a pan and it's cold and the water's drip, 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 drip.
And then it does that.
And then it accumulates.
It accumulates, and
so that's
if you have a little warmth, it maybe starts to bubble a little, but it's still rusting out your pan.
Or the lotus leaf with the water just rolling off the lotus leaf instead of accumulating.
Yeah. So it's not that experiences don't happen, it's that there's no more becoming because of the experience. For one who diminishes the suffering, thus Nibbana is said to be close by. And the Nibbana here is that going out, that cooling, that just being able to abide in this. We're reading The Island right now, and it's in our morning meetings, and just this whole sense of the cool, peaceful, completely serene, and there's no becoming. It's the deathless. It's not. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to bring up today, was this heading toward the cooling by getting the me out of the middle of everything, to get the me out of the by this thing I become. How many times do you talk to somebody, and by what you've said, you've become something. You're not in what you said. You're not by what was said or what someone else said. And in the conversation, you're not here or there nor in between. It's just this experience that is happening. And then there's this letting go. I know that earlier on, there was a lot of, if I were going to go give a talk or something, or had a presentation to make at work, or talk in monastic life, or whatever it was, there would be the preparation for the talk, and I would be thinking, how are they going to take this? And then there would be the giving of the talk, and I'd be, trying to assess, am I doing okay? And then after the talk, I would be thinking about, oh, I could have done that better, or oh, that was, or gosh, didn't I do a great job? Or, and it would be hard to go on to my next task or go to sleep if it was a evening thing, because there was so much me that was in the whole process. And did you experience that at some point and find that
Sometimes, yeah.
it's not so much the same when you just like, okay,
Yeah, so I didn't lose sleep usually though.
that's good.
But I did go, oh, I should have said that, or I forgot to say this, or
Yeah, I would get worked
yeah,
up.
oh,
Yeah, I'd be a little bit worked up about it,
yeah.
or even if I wasn't thinking about it, it would be just like lodged in me, this kind of discontent. Um, and that is that whole inserting myself into the middle of all of the experiences. I find that dropping that and just understanding these are the conditions. If I'm going into that conversation or giving a presentation or whatever it is, these are the conditions. I've put the material together this well. This is what I said, and then there will be results from that. Either the person I was talking to receives it well or receives it poorly, and then we go on from there. We don't spend all of this analysis except for the purpose of right reviewing, like the way the Buddha talked to Rahula about it. A right reviewing is appropriate. But even in that, you're reviewing conditions. You're not reviewing me and what I'm worth or something like that. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure we got Malunkyaputa's Putta's third sutta out into the airwaves this week. Should we say what the result was of this teaching?
The result, yes. And then the Buddha said,
The Buddha said that this is good. I love this phrase. Good, Malunkyaputta. Wouldn't that be so wonderful to have the Buddha say to you, what, insert your name? Good, insert your name. That'd be so wonderful. It is good that you understand in detail the meaning of what was stated by me in brief. And again, the good is not like reifying Malunkyaputta into a being. It's the Dhamma that you spoke. Yes, that's true. It's right. It's aligned. It's good. And so then Malunkyaputta, in such a way, Malunkyaputta, that the meaning of what was stated by me in brief should be understood in detail. Then Malunkyaputta, delighting and rejoicing, rose from the seat, paid his homage, and then went to the root of a tree. He was ardent, diligent, and resolute, and he, in this very life, entered and dwelt in the unsurpassed goal of the holy life, for the sake of which cleansement, which any of us might rightly go forth from the household life into homelessness. Malunkyaputta directly knew, destroyed as birth, the holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this state of being. And Venerable Malunkyaputta became one of the arahants.
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah. What a good sutta.
Yeah, so this is just showing the importance of mindfulness, and just part of mindfulness is just being fully present with what's arising, but not grasping onto it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being present for the next moment and the next.
Yeah. Yeah. So tying it in, we've got the ethical precepts that we have recited today, and that can be a real good foundation for what is it we're trying to be mindful of, that we're mindful of bringing these precepts into practice. And then we can also be mindful of the effects they're having on our lives. And we can be mindful of each thing as it arises and passes, fades away, and not insert anything in it, opinionated of me, mine, myself. And I think the result is, well, from Alokya it was arahantship. And if we don't get there, at least it's a happier way to be. It's a much happier way to be.
And we're less likely to break the precepts if we don't. I mean, if our mindfulness is sharp and we see the arising of attachment, because this is what gets us into trouble. And it's strong desire, attachment, or strong aversion, and defensiveness, or we get into conflict. So being aware of how we're being pulled by weight enough, by feeling of pleasant or unpleasant, and not becoming overwhelmed or obsessed. And that mindfulness isn't muddied or muddled or
muddied, or absent or missing. Any of that.
Yeah, one teacher said his English was a second language for him, and he said, started talking about muddied mindfulness. You shouldn't have muddied mindfulness. It's like, that works. That
totally works.
Muddled,
totally
muddy.
Yeah, you don't see clearly if the mud puddle's been stirred up.
Yep. So wishing you all clarity and clear mindfulness.
Should we call that good?
So we can call that good. So thank you all for your kind attention, anyone who may be out in YouTube land. And we will close for now.
Good. Malokya Buddha.
Thank you, IA.
Thank you, IA.
Araham Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangham Namah. Have a wonderful and mindful rest of your day.